Welcome to Around the Horn, FantasyAlarm.com. Why am I wearing a robe, New Year's Eve hat with bottles of hooch behind me and odd stuffed animals? Because I'm still celebrating the Giants' victory, and I don't know if I've really left the house other than for Halloween in the last couple of weeks. The Giants, World Series champions, yet again. 2010, 2012, 2014. Absolutely stupendous run, 3 victories in the World Series for the Giants. A club who hadn't won a World Series since coming to San Francisco in 1958. Never thought I would see 1, let alone 2 or 3 in a 5-year span. Lots to talk about with that team, obviously. The big story, though, is Madison Bumgarner continuing to cement his place on the top of the pantheon of all-time playoff performers. 52 2/3 innings this year in the playoffs, the most ever thrown in a postseason. And it's changed. You know, we didn't have all these extra rounds back in the day, but more postseason innings than any pitcher ever. Concerns about next year? Maybe. 270 innings of work for Bumgarner this year. It's a little high for the 25-year-old. But his performance in the World Series, stupendous. 0.25 ERA in 36 innings in the World Series and a 0.53 whip. One of the greatest postseason performers of all time. And as I just noted, 25 years old. I think he's actually younger than Matt Harvey. Second story, how about Aramis Ramirez? Now, the third base market is very thin this year. We've got Chase Headley and Pablo Sandoval leading the class. Where are they going to sign? How much money are they going to take? All that's up in the air. So the Brewers did the smart thing. They extended their offer. They accepted, actually, their offer of $14 million for Aramis Ramirez. He talked it over with his agent, thought about it, accepted the 1-year, $14 million offer. Now, he's 36 years old as Aramis Ramirez, and he only played 133 games last year. Injuries are part of who he is. But he performed well, hit .285. He had 15 home runs, 66 RBIs. No longer an elite option, but someone that goes out there, still produce batting average, still produce some pop. Hard to bank on him being a huge performer in 2014. But if you end up with him as your third baseman in a mixed league, you're probably still going to be in a pretty good spot. Cryotherapy. I'm not even really sure what that is, but Ryan Braun had it on his thumb. Now, we didn't think the thumb issue with Braun last year would be as big an issue as it turned out to be. It did hamper him all season long. The team's very concerned about this. So he underwent this cryotherapy. He's taken some batting practice. The team is very pleased with how things have gone. Braun himself is very pleased with how things have gone. He heads into 2014 with a huge question mark beside his name because we just don't know how long his thumb's going to be okay, how long he's going to be okay. He had a down season in 2014 compared to his previous levels. Still very good performer was Ryan Braun. No longer an elite option, but someone you should feel, pretty confident you'll get a good season out of him next year as long as that finger of his holds up. Now, the Brewers also did more things. The Brewers are in the news. Man, should we tip in the cap to the Brewers? They made a trade. They sent out Marco Estrada and brought back Adam Lind. Now, Adam Lind can kill right-handed pitching. He's Johnny LeMaster against left-handed pitching. He's terrible in that respect. But against right-handers, he crushes it. So he will be platoon, with the Brewers. A .293 career batting average against righties with a .510 slugging percentage. Those are all-star type of numbers for Adam Lind. He's hit over 300 the last 2 years as well. He will be the majority first base player for the Brewers, seeing the good side of that platoon. Now, the Marco Estrada case, interesting. Goes to Toronto, which is not a good place to pitch. AL East, not a good place to pitch. The issue with Estrada is the home run. The major league average for home runs per 9 innings is about 1 per 9. Estrada for his career is 1.4, not good at all. And last year, that mark was 1.7. Now, we just don't see the number that high in back-to-back seasons from hardly anyone who's ever played, so you have to expect some regression down. Does he regress back to 1.5 per 9? Can he bring that number down lower in that ballpark in Toronto? If he can bring that number down lower, we would have a very exciting option. And even if he doesn't bring that number down lower, he is still someone to look at in AL-only leagues, because look at these career numbers. For his career, just about 400 innings, 8.5 strikeouts per 9 innings, great number. 3.5 strikeout to walk ratio, great number. 1.14 whip, great number. Lots of skills if he can keep the ball in the ballpark. Now, Billy Butler didn't hit the ball out of the ballpark at all. He failed to get double-digit home runs last season for the Royals. And the Royals, despite their run to the World Series and the importance of Billy Butler to the team over the last few years, have turned down their $12.5 million option. Now, the two sides continuing to negotiate, so it is certainly possible that Butler remains with the Royals, but maybe he'll be too expensive, maybe they won't be able to work something out, and Butler will have to be employed by someone else in 2015. Down season, yes, for Butler in 2014. Limited player, can't play defense, has no speed, but it bears pointing out that the last 6 years, not 6 months, last 6 years, folks, This guy has hit .298 with 18 home runs and 87 RBIs as an average. Someone out there has a spot for Billy Butler in their starting lineup. And then finally, let's go back to the pitching. We started with it. Let's go back there. Jose Fernandez, one of the best young pitchers in baseball. Tommy John surgery in May. Everything is going well. Reports are glowing that things are progressing very, very quickly and successfully for Fernandez in his attempt to come back from that injury and that surgery. But note this. The team is not going to rush their franchise player. Well, I guess Giancarlo Stanton might have something to say about being the franchise player if they can sign him long term. But the point being, their number one pitcher, Jose Fernandez, they're not going to rush him back. Early reports in the month of November suggest that we won't see Fernandez until June, possibly July of next year. He'll probably be on a pitch count and inning count when he does come back. So be very careful not to overvalue Fernandez because of his talent when it comes to 2015. We likely won't see the Fernandez that we've seen in the past until 2016. I'm Ray Flowers. This has been Around the Horn for FantasyAlarm.com. Don't forget to come to FantasyAlarm.com for all your baseball stuff from me, and also our football offerings each week. We have previews, we have reviews, we have free, that's right folks, free rankings. We've also kicked off our new basketball season, got the draft guide with that and NBA side of things, and it welcomed in Lisa Ann to be part of the team as well. So don't forget to come to FantasyAlarm.com for all your fantasy sports needs. Ray Flowers here. I'll talk to y'all again soon.